Hi friends, welcome back to At Home with Mayla Nicole. On today, it is a Saturday morning. It has been raining here for the past couple of days. It's wet out and I can't do much gardening, but what I can do is take you guys around and show you my trees. So I'm gonna do a tree tour for you. It's very cloudy here, there is no sun, so actually it should make it better for you guys to see what I have. Outside of my two oak trees in my front yard and the two crepe myrtles that I have in the front, everything else is new from last fall until now. Nothing is a year old yet. So I will show you everything that I have planted, and I will put up pictures on the screen of everything and give you a little bit of information about each tree. So I'm going to take you around my property and show you what I have. So I'm just going to start out with my front yard. I have two huge oak trees that were obviously planted here when the home was built. I have put planters around the bottom of both and just tucked in a few hostas. I'm going to add a few more things to that to kind of fill up those the rings around the trees. I'll do that probably in the fall or next year. Then we're going to head around to the front of my home. So the front of my home, I have those big, huge, two huge crepe myrtles. These were also planted when the home was built. I back early spring, late fall, I pruned these by myself for the very first time. So they bloomed a whole lot better this year. Next year I'm going to do the same thing, maybe try to take off some of the height of it because they're kind of getting a little bit too big. I did not want them to go up that high, but the blooms are spent now. It's not, I should have done this tour back a while ago, at least a month and a half ago, but I figured I better go ahead and do it now before these trees start losing their leaves. So better late than never. Those are my two crepe myrtles. I have no clue what type of variety they are. They're just like the hot pink blooms. So those are those. And now everything else will be what I have planted. We're gonna start off with my Japanese maples. I've always wanted a Japanese maple, and I finally have two. This is my very first one. This is the I don't want to butcher this, Tamukeyama Japanese maple. It is supposed to get 15 feet high and 15 feet wide. It also has it's more on the deep reddish burgundy color. I don't know why it's showing green now in the springtime and in the summer, and the more sun it gets, it will be the color of this new growth up here, but then sometimes it will turn green. So it's more green now, but this is the very first one I planted here. Initially I had that tree right here where my Slender Hinoki Cypress is, but it was getting too much sun and the leaves were burning on the tips. So, and then this one was in the corner, it was getting too much shade and I was losing leaves. So what I did was switch the two, and now that is getting more shade, which, you know, Japanese maples in the south, the humid south, needs a little bit more shade. So I switched the two. This one is getting more shade, and this one is getting more sun, and it is helping. So that is my Tamukeyama. Then we're going to talk about my other Japanese maple. This is my Viridis, and it is it has the the growth habit, you know, of spreading wider than tall. And I definitely always knew I wanted one like this in front of this big window. So I looked up, I found this one, I believe, Home Depot, guys. I found this in Home Depot last year for like $75. It was not bad at all. It has really filled out a lot. Um, it has grown a lot, put on a lot of new branches, and I am so happy with it. Talk about my second favorite tree. This is my Slender Hinoki Cypress. I always wanted one of these. I looked high and low. We have a local garden center that they kind of they cater to like commercial, you know, other landscapers, but they also, you are also able to come in, you know, the public is able to come in and purchase. And they had some that was like already 6-7 feet tall and a lot thicker than this, more filled out, but they were so expensive. And I knew I had a lot of trees to plant and I just did not want to spend that much money. So I searched and searched and searched, and I want to say this is the first, no, it's not the first tree I purchased online. It's maybe like the second or the third tree that I purchased online. And I was very excited about how healthy it looked when it came. But I got this off of fastgrowingtrees.com. And since I moved it out of the shade and it is getting more sun, it has put on more growth. These branches on the bottom have started to fill out, because before, when it was in the shade, like there's one right here, but I had like all of these on the bottom started to die. And I said, something is going on with this tree. I don't know what it is. But as soon as I took it out and gave it more sun, it is starting to fill out. It's getting thicker, and it has even put on a lot of growth on this little leader. So it is a very slow grower. It'll take years. I thought it's one of those whimsical, wonky shaped trees that I absolutely love. I like a formal garden also, but I just think I like little pieces thrown in there that are unexpected, and this is the one that I love. So this is my Slender Hinoki Cypress. Okay, here is another one of my Slender Hinoki Cypress, but this is the dwarf version of it. This is also a transplant. I had this in my front flower bed tucked over in a corner. It was getting way too much shade, so I moved it out to my side yard where this gets afternoon sun, a little bit of midday sun, but mainly afternoon sun. And it started out, it hasn't been but maybe a month since I moved this, transplanted and moved this over here, so I can really tell the difference. All of this dieback in here was happening when it was in the shade, so maybe some of this can fill out and get a little bit better. But I can even see some growth since I've moved it. Like, this was not here before. It has really put on, I'd say, at least 1 to 2 inches. All of that is new growth. And these trees are very slow growing. This one is only supposed to get to like 5 to 6 feet tall. So it'll fill in this little corner up against my fence really nicely. Before I leave my front yard, I forgot to talk about my Bluepoint junipers. We redid pretty much the entire front of my home last summer and over into this spring. We had big shrubs here, and because of our harsh winters, they all died. My husband did not want to pull them out. It was really hard getting them out because they had been here for about 17 or 18 years. But we finally got them out, and I knew I wanted some conifers. So I got the Bluepoint junipers because I was watching a video where someone, I cannot remember who it is, I will go back and tell you exactly who it was, but they was talking about how at first I was going to get the arborvitaes to put here, the green emeralds, but the video I watched said that the Bluepoint junipers were a little bit hardier and just for the south, were a little bit better for the south. So I got the Bluepoint junipers. I put one on this corner, another Bluepoint juniper. It's a little bit smaller. So I got one there, and then this is my last one. Now this one I planted back late winter, early spring. Not this actual one, but I planted another one like the other two that I planted, and it died. It did really well for about a month and a half, 2 months, and then it slowly started turning brown. And I dug it up and took it back, and then I went to Lowe's and I found this one, and it had looked like it had fallen, and like one side was smashed in and it was leaning, but I got them to mark it down half off, and I believe this one was originally supposed to be like $87. I got it marked down half off, so that was a good win. And so I just kind of staked it up to straighten it out, and I tied some of my string around it to hold up those leaves, so hopefully they'll kind of straighten up. It's starting to rain again, guys, so I'm gonna have to go inside and wait until this rain comes off to finish up my backyard. So okay, that rain was short-lived. It's died down a little bit, so I'm gonna get out here while I can before it starts back up. So now we are in my backyard, and these are my two pride and joys. These are the tricolor Dappled Willow trees. These two were from Monrovia, and I still have the tag on it. It's the Flamingo Dappled Willow from Monrovia, and it is supposed to get its zones 4 to 10, so very hardy. It's hard to see. And it is supposed to reach about 10 feet high, 10 feet wide. So you see how it can be like in the shrub form, but they have tree formed these two. And this one was, I believe, only a maybe a 5 or 7 gallon when I purchased it. I initially purchased that one first, and then I liked it so much. Well, I got to cut all those suckers. I'm sorry. Yeah, the suckers would continue to try to grow up. You got to keep them trimmed. But I loved it so much that I went back and bought another one. I bought that one, and they did not have the smaller, cheaper version, so I think that one was a 5 gallon, I want to say. So then I had to get a 7 gallon for this one. So they're like lollipop trees. I just tuck that one in that corner and that one right there by my gate, and they won't grow up too high, too much taller than the fence. And then I just love it. I absolutely love it. And now willow trees love moisture. They love wet soil. So this, like I said, this side of my yard is my boggy side. So that tree, because that is the lowest corner, that tree is gonna absolutely love it. And then this one stays kind of wet also. So those are my two Dappled Willow trees. And now you really can't tell now, but it has like these variegated leaves. Like in the spring, once it leaves out, it has these little variegated leaves. You see a few of them still here, and then the tips are like pink, peachy pink, like and white, like in the picture. And I'll put another picture up on the screen of these trees in its mature form. So that's those two. Here's the other one. And it has like the little weeping habit. And I love that, like, whimsical weeping habit of the limbs. And now we're gonna move on to my oh, I forgot to say, these two are deciduous, so they will lose their leaves, and I'm okay with that. They will lose their leaves and then it'll leaf back out in the late winter, early spring. These, on the other hand, are my 3 Eagleston hollies. They are evergreen. I just planted these, and I will link the video here for you to go watch. But I tried to make sure I got evergreen that was up against my neighbors' yards, because this neighbor over here does not have anything in their backyard, and so I did not want to put any deciduous trees here that the leaves will fall over into their backyard and they will have to deal with. So here are my 3 Eagleston hollies, and this is meant to provide privacy. Okay, we're moving along to my other tree. Now, this is the first tree I purchased online. I purchased this along with another one that has died. I also bought a weeping white cherry tree that was initially in that corner, but like I said, that's my boggy corner, and I believe it was just too wet, and I believe I got root rot, and then also we had some really windy weather and I didn't have it staked properly, and so one time I came out and the tree was just leaning. So that, coupled with the wet roots all the time, that tree, it just perished. So I pulled it out and I got rid of it, and I really want another weeping white cherry. Just gotta find a place to put it. So back to this. I absolutely am in love with this. This is my Royal Raindrops Crabapple. It is absolutely beautiful. In the early spring, late winter, early spring, when it starts to leaf out, there are these like little pink, beautiful blooms all along the limbs, the branches, and then the leaves come out that wine color. Now, throughout the summer, they eventually kind of turn to green, to like that deep green, but you see like the new growth is that beautiful color, that deep wine color. And then after the blooms, they have these little berries that the birds love. So this has done really well. I absolutely love it. It's put on a little growth. Initially, when I planted it in the fall, I would say it was probably about maybe this tall. So it's put on a good, maybe 8 to 10 inches, maybe a foot in length. So that's the Royal Raindrops Crabapple. Moving along to my arborvitaes. I absolutely love them. I have 3 back here along this fence line. I wanted something back here that was evergreen, and so this is the see, I have 3 right there, and these are the emerald greens. I went back and forth between the emerald greens and the North Pole, and I like both of them. They both kind of work well in my area. It just actually, me getting the green emeralds really came down to I couldn't find the North Poles for the size that I wanted, the price that I wanted. The emerald green is just, they have it way more often in this area. in the big box store. So I believe I got these from I want to say Home Depot, my favorite place. I got these from Home Depot, I want to say, and I put these in November, early November of last year, and they have thickened up and actually put on a little growth, not much because it is a slow grower as well. I would say these have gotten put on maybe 3 to 4 inches, and then also kind of like filled in more. They weren't as wide as they are now. So that's that. You guys, I really had planned on coming out here cleaning up my beds, pruning some stuff, and it's been raining for the past 3 days. It's just too wet out here to do anything. That's the second one. And then this is my third emerald green. And then my last tree is another evergreen that I have tucked in this corner. This is where we moved our shed over to this corner. Please ignore all the bags of pea gravel that I have to use for another project, but we moved the shed over here, and then we have this corner tucked in where I have a shed, my neighbor's shed, another shed, another neighbor's shed, my shed, and then the corner. So I wanted to put something here that would kind of block all of those, roof lines. And then my neighbor right on the other side, right next door to me, they have a pool, and all of their trees in their backyard are all evergreen. And with pools, you don't want to have to deal with a lot of leaves. So I'm being the good neighbor, and I decided to plant an evergreen tree here in this corner so they don't have to worry about leaves falling. And this tree is a lot of people would say don't get it because it's invasive, and it looks like a shrub now. You can buy it, you can tree form it, and that's what I plan to do because I just could not find any that was already tree formed. The one that I did find, it was expensive, and then it would cost a whole lot to ship it, and it was a little bit too big. It would cost entirely too much. So I found this one at a local nursery here, and it was a nice size. It's actually put on some growth, but I need to prune it up a little bit, and then I'm going to just kind of like, as it grows, limb it up on the bottom until it becomes a tree. And this is a fast grower, but let me tell you what it is. This is the wax leaf ligustrum, kind of in the family of the privet. It's a privet, but it's the wax leaf ligustrum, and a lot of people consider the privets as invasive, but this is supposed to be one of the cultivars that is not invasive. Now, whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. I will find out. But this is the wax leaf ligustrum, so it gets a lot of sun over here. I guess I will probably, once it grows, it says it's supposed to grow like 2 to 3 feet a year. And in the spring and summer, it has these beautiful white cluster blooms on it. They've turned to berries now. And actually there are only a few of the berries left. These little small, if you can see, little small berries here. Here's some more over here. But from what I understand, it puts off a very strong, sweet fragrance as well. So you can see the lighter leaves. That's the new growth. I just planted this about a month and a half ago as well. So we are going to let this get a little bit taller and limb it up and just let it grow and have it be a nice evergreen specimen for this corner. And then it will also provide a little bit more shade. So I have been learning a lot gardening in my new home. I originally thought this was going to be my shade area, my shade garden, hence why I put all of the astilbes, the hostas, and everything over here. I planted a bunch of astilbes over here, ferns, hostas, and as you see, they are all scorched. Some of them, I planted bulbs. Some of them didn't even come up. So I had about 10 astilbes in here, but I only have 1, 2 that didn't even bloom. And that's the third one. Those were the bulbs that I planted. This one was just an actual plant that I purchased from like Home Depot that had bloomed, and the blooms are spent, and the leaves are very crispy. But you see my little fern. I had another fern to come up, and it died back. It was just getting way too much sun over here. So then that's when I said I need to plant a tree, because back in the fall, I guess I just thought it was a lot of shade over here. But I guess the summertime and the way the sun is out, the difference, this corner was getting full all day sun, and it was just way too much. So I planted the tree. I purchased the the shade sails, but it was connected to the corner of my shed, but the little staple came out, so I had to just pin those back a little bit until I can fix that. So I put up the shade sails. I might put up 1 or 2 more to give my little shade corner a little bit more sun, a little bit more shade, because I love the way just have like the little bed of hostas and ferns and astilbes. I love that look. But and I have some sedums to plant. Just haven't had a chance to get out here. So we're gonna get this fixed. We'll get my shade sails back up. We will get the sedums planted, and then like I said, maybe in the late winter, early spring, I will limb up that ligustrum a little bit more, so that when it grows, and then maybe cut off some of those tall limbs off the top to encourage some more growth. That is for this corner. We're gonna head around to my other side yard. Be right back. All right, guys, I'm in my side yard where I put in my walkway, my gravel walkway that is not completely done yet. I'm not finished. But that is not what this video is about. This video is about trees. This is my Cryptomeria black dragon. It's kind of small. I purchased it small. It was very inexpensive because it's so small, but I absolutely love it. You can see the bright chartreuse color that is the new growth on this, and then it will age to that really deep color on the inside, and hence the name the black dragon. So this is my Cryptomeria. I love conifers. I know a lot of people think you can't grow conifers in the South, but mine are doing very well so far. So this is my Cryptomeria black dragon. And very last but not least, well, there's really nothing but sticks, but a stick to show. But let me tell you a little bit about this. So this is my chocolate mimosa tree. It doesn't look much like a tree right now. It looks like a limb off of a tree, but I purchased this summer. They had a sale going on fastgrowingtrees.com, which I have purchased several other trees from and had really good service. So I bought this tree. It was absolutely beautiful. If you know anything about the mimosa tree, there are 2 versions. There's the traditional, the green one, and then there's the one that has like a wine, deep burgundy color that's called the chocolate mimosa. And they both put off these absolutely beautiful pink puff like blooms in the summertime that are stunning. It's actually, you can use it for medicinal purposes. and everything, but that's not why I purchased it. I purchased it because I love the look of it. I wanted another burgundy or a deep wine tree other than my crabapple. So I got this one for this corner right outside my side gate. And it also grows where it has into like a weeping habit. So I wanted it to grow up and then kind of weep over the gate. So it'll be like you're walking in underneath the tree canopy. So I planted it. It was beautiful when it came. It had more than just these few little limbs. It had maybe 3 or 4 more limbs on it. They all had leaves. I planted it. I was getting new growth. I was seeing buds come out. And then all of a sudden, one day I looked out and I saw some leaves on the ground. And I said, okay. Then the next day, the leaves that were still attached started looking a little bit more crispy. And then like the third day, all of those were completely down on the ground along with these little branches. So I had like total leaf drop within 3 days time. And I thought it was dead. When I purchased it, it came along with a 1-year guarantee. So I called Fast Growing Trees, and they asked me they said that they would take care of it, very nice, but they asked me to do a leaf scratch test first. I mean, not a leaf scratch, I'm sorry, a scratch test first. So I came out here, I did a scratch test, and it indeed was still green. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the scratch test. It is when you think something is dying or it doesn't look too well, what you do is you go to the trunk of the specimen, you go down, oh, there's a little bit of growth right here. You go down low, and I didn't do it with my fingernail. I think I did it with a quarter or something, but you scratch. You just kind of lightly scratch it, and if it is green or if it's like a white color underneath, then it is still alive. It is still alive. It just had leaf drop, which they explained to me that some trees do, you know, from shock of, you know, being planted. So it is still alive. It should be fine. And in next spring, it should leaf out and be lovely. So I'm gonna keep watching this. Like I said, I have a full year warranty. And so I have until next summer. And if it doesn't come back like I feel it should, then I'll give them a call back in the spring of next year. So that is my chocolate mimosa tree. So I almost forgot about my hydrangea tree. And how could I forget about that? I love hydrangeas, especially my tree. So this is the Little Lime Prime, the Little Lime Prime tree form. I have it in a pot. The blooms are getting crispy now. When they first bloomed, they were absolutely beautiful, but they're starting to go brown on me. I don't know what happened to these over here. I've got some holes. I think I had some type of insect chewing on these, but it was only on this side, only on that side, maybe just 1 or 2 branches over here. All the rest look good, still good, but the blooms are spent. I'm gonna do a little bit of pruning on this, get rid of some of those dead leaves in there, and in early spring we'll give it a nice trim, and then this should come back next year even bigger. I absolutely love this tree. This is the first year, and I thought it was gonna take forever to bloom. It was like my last hydrangea to bloom, but it's looking really good. I love it. And then the very last thing, I have another Bluepoint juniper. And you guys, I know it's like leaning. I put it in this pot because I didn't have anywhere to put it in my landscape at the time when I purchased it. I purchased an extra one. So I just threw it in this pot so that it would be out of the growing pot. I put it in this pot so I can get some more soil, and it has thickened up a little bit. So I'm just kind of keeping it in here until I find somewhere to put it in the landscape. And if I don't find anywhere, I will reposition it, straighten it up in that pot, and do some underplanting and move it somewhere else in my yard. So that concludes my tree tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have put a lot of work in planting these trees in my landscape over the past few months, year to the past few months, and I know it's going to take a while for them all to grow in, but I'm patient with gardening. It takes patience. I know sometimes it's hard for us and we want it to be mature sized immediately, but it doesn't work that way. So I'm gonna wait. I got plenty more things to do, and I enjoy watching the process. That's what I like. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Like I said, I will post photos of all of these trees and how they look in its mature state, and along with like the zones and the little details of each. So if you have any questions, just drop them, questions or comments, drop them in the box below, and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever it is that you're watching this. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any more of my videos, and comment below. Thanks guys. Bye-bye.